and welcome to this week's Wicklow County Matters with me, Emily O'Donnell, brought to you from the Murragh coastline. On this week's episode, we shine the spotlight on a campaign to preserve this beautiful area from coastal erosion. We're going to be finding out how one group are striving to save this beautiful seascape from the waves that are coming in and taking over the land. Today we're here in Stresslite in Blessington, County Wicklow, a business that has been in existence for over 22 years and employs 50 people, to find out more about an initiative that they're involved in that's very close to our hearts on Wicklow County Matters. These people are producing sea defence for the Murragh coastline to help preserve one of the most beautiful parts of Wicklow. So we have come along to find out more, and first up we're talking to their Managing Director, Sean Farrington.
I'm Managing Director of Stresslite Precast, and we're here for the past 22 years. And I'm, I suppose, near retired in age, but I have a vast amount of experience in this type of products that we do. Well, we have a full range of products, precast products, starting from flooring, which we started off with here. Then we do walls, precast stairs, columns, beams, and of course tanks. There was 5 or 6 people went to tender for the sea defence precast concrete products. They were pre-designed by a company in the north of Ireland, and an engineering company, and we tendered for it, and we received a tender. So after that, then we had to go into the process of producing moulds, that's steel moulds, and to meet the demand of the precast products that was required out in the Murragh in Wicklow. Yes, they're very important to the Murragh. The idea of it is that there's a ground prepared on the site, and they have armour stones or rocks to facilitate the precast units. And what they're put together, they're hexagonal, they're a complete opening. You'll see them in production later, and they're put together and they look like a big honeycomb when they're put together. And what happens is when the wave come in on top of these, the wave goes down into the holes or the insets and breaks the energy of the wave. So that's the idea behind it.
Great to see a local man so passionate about preserving the coastline in the county that he grew up in. We are now going to speak to Banesh Narayan, who is the project manager in this factory. Banesh is going to talk to us about his role and the process that goes into making these incredible sea defences to preserve the Murragh. Can I ask you to talk me through the process of making these sea defence casts?
So first we got the drawings approved from the client, and then we got the cages made as per the approved drawing. We sent it off for galvanization. It comes in. We got the molds manufactured ourselves, and we have it set up in the background here, as you can see, and we have 2 guys working on it. We pour 12 units a day. We get double casts out of each mold.
And how long would it take for each mold to be made, and how many people would be involved in this?
Two guys would make 12 units in a day, and so we have 6 molds, and there are double casts from each mold.
Is it very labour intensive? Do you have to be very fit and strong to do this kind of work?
For this particular one, it is it is not as labour intensive as some of our stairs that you see around here, which are quite heavy and much more labour intensive, but this is for 2 guys. It's quite a difficult work for a good day's work for the 2 guys.
And what materials are used to create these?
Well, the mold is made from steel, and the reinforcement is from galvanized steel, and then we have the concrete, which we batch in our concrete plant here with stones from Hudson's and cement with GGBS in it. So that's what we pour into the concrete.
And what does it mean to you to be making something that is saving the landscape and the seascape in County Wicklow?
We take a lot of pride in doing a job because we're based in Wicklow, and we take a lot of pride in doing work for the county that we work in. So it's a big job for us. Yes, we are very proud of it.
And can you give me a flavour of some other projects you might be working on at the moment?
Yeah, we're working on the stairs for Park Equive down in Cork, and we have primary care centres coming up in Kilcock and in Wexford.
Now that we've learned more about the project and the process, we're now going to speak to one of the people in charge of transporting these sea defences from the foot of the Wicklow Mountains here to the beautiful coastline of the Murrah. You're the main man in charge of transport here. What is your job?
I transport the CBs out to Wicklow. There's about 7 on a load, and there's about 100 loads going out.
And of course the viewers can see the CBs here, which they just saw being made inside.
Yeah.
How many of these would you transport in a day, and what time do you start it?
I start about 6:30 in the morning, and we do 3 runs a day, so there's 21 a day going out.
And would this be physical work? Do you load it up yourself, or is there a team that puts them on and you do the driving?
There's a team of 2 or 3 of us to put them on, yeah, and there's a team out there that'll take them off.
And what happens when you get to the Murrah? Does it give you a sense of pride to see these CBs being delivered and preserving the coastline?
It does, yeah. It'd be an awful shame to see it go, so hopefully we can slow it down anyway, at least.
Do you find the truck driving hard work? Is it tiring? Or what can the pros and cons kind of be of a job like this?
It can be tiring, yeah, but it is enjoyable. You're out all day, and you get to see different things. It is quite enjoyable, yeah.
Do you find them heavy to transport the CBs? Would these weigh a lot?
They're about 3 tonne each, so 7 would be 21 tonne on it. So the truck weighs about 38 tonne going out the gate.
Well, the truck has been loaded up and has departed from our destination here at the foothills of the Wicklow Mountains in Blessington. We are now going to follow the truck cross-county to Wicklow town, where it's being unloaded, and see what happens in the next stage of the process.
We're just heading up here. We're going to drop off these CBs, and the boys up here are going to lift them in.
We've made the glorious journey across the Sally Gap in Wicklow, and the truck is just about to arrive with all the products on it, which are going to help preserve this beautiful coastline that you can see here on front of me. Sean, can you talk to me about what we can see here behind you?
Right, well, we're down in the Murrah, the harbour at last. You were out there in Blessington this morning producing the precast products. We brought them out here. But prior to that, we have to, or the County Council have to put in this armour rock. And this basically is placed in here to support the back of the precast units you see here in the background. And when they are put into place on the front and on the back, then we proceed to put in the precast units. As you can see, it's built like a bee comb. Side by they're hexagonal units, and they're put side by side, so it will look very well. The whole reason behind it is when the waves come in, they just go down into these segments, or the holes of the segments, and break the energy, and to prevent it from going further into the railway line.
Well, there you go, folks. We're about to witness here what people are doing to preserve the beautiful coastline of County Wicklow, and we're ready to rock and roll and see the cast being dropped.